Just to give you some context, last week I was test driving a really uncomfortable car. I had to drive it for a full 2 hours, and by the end of it my back was hurting, my leg was hurting, and then I was able to swap cars into this, the Peugeot 508 Sportswagon. And quite seriously, my pain just melted away, and so did my stress levels. So I'm just giving you that context so that you know I go into this with full bias. There's just one spec of the Peugeot 508 Sportswagon. It costs around $56,000 and competes with cars like the Skoda Octavia. Here's how it did over a week of driving with my family. If you're after a more detailed review, head to the CarsGuide website, and if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe. It looks good, way better than what I'm used to from Peugeot, with a sophisticated front grille and long lines. This car is elongated and sleek, and it's just so much more refined than its SUV cousins, which is what you'd be giving up if you opted for a wagon. These look way better. Inside is super slick too. There are these leather seats with a very interesting quilted pattern that not only look premium, but they are really comfortable. Like I said, they actually dissolved my back pain that came from the other car I was driving. They're also power adjustable and heated. And the design in here is ace. I am particularly fond of this steering wheel. It's really small, so it's easy to manipulate. And it's almost an octagonal shape with a flat top and a flat bottom. It's just really easy to drive around. It's one of my favorite steering wheels of all time. Plus, it's covered in leather. The center console looks great. There is a high gloss finish on most parts with piano keys up here for instant functionality, so you don't get confused about where to find things. And there's a complete digital dash with your speed comes up in really big numbers, which is actually really helpful, and it looks really modern. The only things I'm not 100% fond of are this hard dash up here and this finish along here. I think they both could have been finished in different materials, but I'm really grasping for something critical to say. It all looks good. There are 2 cup holders up front, plus you'll get a really decent sized center storage bin. There is this excellent spot of storage. I'm so happy with this little bit of storage here. I don't know why it's so hard for car companies to grasp that we need just somewhere to pop our keys and our phone. You do get this sneaky shelf under here for your phone as well. It also charges your phone, and there's a USB point down there. I don't usually love the shelf down there, but because there's this, it's perfectly fine. And the front is wide and spacious, giving a lovely feel of airiness. There's a really good amount of leg room, but actually not that much headspace with this large sunroof here. But I do have the seat jacked all the way up. So for actual tall people who don't need to jack their seat up, there's probably plenty of room. The back has a really good amount of room in here, and it was positively palatial for my kids this week. They're only little, they're age 6 and 8. I'm also only little, and I had heaps of space, but I do think there's enough room between my knees and the seat in front of me that other taller adults, teenagers will have plenty of room back here too. Rear passengers get 2 cup holders in the center armrest. Their own air vents, which is really good in a car this size, and you'll also get 2 USB points down here. And the boot is huge. It's low, sure, especially when you're comparing it to an SUV, but it's really long, and it's very much appreciated when you've got a family and you have loads of stuff to transport around. Plus, it opens and closes with a button on the boot or on your key. Driving in the Peugeot 508 Sportswagon is really lovely. It's smooth and it's quiet, and it just gets around quite effortlessly. There's a 1.6 litre turbo engine, so it's quick and it's nimble, and I feel like I can get in and out of traffic really quickly. There's no all-wheel drive option though. This only comes in 2-wheel drive. It zooms up hills and is great to drive along highways. I felt comfortable and safe. This steering wheel also makes a really big difference when you're driving the car. It's so easy to turn. I love it. And the size, because it's so small, makes you feel like a bit of a racing car driver, even if you are just driving around suburbia. Can't hurt to dream a little, right? The reverse parking camera is fine. It's not super high definition, but it's clear enough to see. And there are parking guidelines, which are always helpful. Plus, it has a 360-degree view, which is always good to see where you are in space. Safety is good. There are a load of advanced safety options, so things like auto emergency braking, lane departure warnings and adaptive cruise control all come standard. One spot the Skoda wins over this Peugeot is that the Octavia has 9 airbags, while the Peugeot 508 has 6 airbags, which is standard in this category, and most cars have 6 airbags, but the Octavia does beat it. There are 2 ISOFIX points and 3 top tether points to fix kids' car seats in safely. The multimedia looks great. There is a large 12.3-inch screen and it's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So basically you plug your phone in and the screen turns into a giant version of your phone. You can use your Maps app to navigate and your streaming app to listen to podcasts or music. Plus there are 10 speakers in this car, so the sound is really good. The Peugeot 508 Sportswagon is a great family car with loads of space for everyone, including a huge boot that rivals most mid-size SUVs. Every time I drive a wagon, I'm reminded of how much nicer the design is than an SUV, but it's really a personal preference as to whether you like the height or the length. This car drives beautifully, has excellent safety and technology, and I gave it a family rating of 8.2 out of 10. My kids also gave it an 8.2. They loved the comfort in this car. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel or click through to our website.